Keanu Reeves has given the world iconic role after iconic role across an illustrious career. But John Wick has by far been the most demanding role he's played. Despite the franchise being caught in an endless loop of trying to outdo themselves with each new chapter, Reeves still keeps up with the demands of modern-day action movies. Let's not kid ourselves here. Keanu isn't getting any younger. He's pushing 60 for crying out loud. But Neo has always managed to beat the system, and age isn't slowing him down at all. The fourth chapter of John Wick had an insane amount of stunt driving, which I'll get into a bit, which means Keanu isn't just hitting the mark, he's routinely jumping over his bar by learning new stunts at 58 years old. I don't care how many trainers you have, who your nutritionist is, or how long you train to shoot weapons. If you're doing the stunts yourself, which Keanu does,
close to visceral emotional impact.
and the action is as well choreographed and extreme as it is in John Wick, you have to give the man his props. These days, the action movie consumer is way less tolerant of cheap Hollywood tricks, and Patrick Murphy, Reeves' personal trainer, had to train Reeves in the proper rules of engagement. Even small things like keeping his head in line with his spine, keeping his shoulders relaxed, and even the way Keanu breathes can make a difference in an action sequence. There are reasons Keanu was chosen to play a character that goes beyond just his acting skills, and on top of that, it's probably why Reeves is so proficient with weapons down at the shooting range. If you've been following Keanu's career, you probably know how passionate he is about shooting, and how skilled he is with multiple weapons while moving through an obstacle course. That's an extremely useful skill to have for a movie like John Wick, because it means the actor is already comfortable holding weapons, moving around in formation, handling recoil in dummy rounds, and most importantly, looking like he does it all the time. No matter how well you train an actor, the natural swagger with a hand cannon Wick radiates is only possible if you handle guns daily. Even with all that experience, Keanu revealed that before the third installment, Parabellum, he spent 54 days at the gun range going through drills. They were literally designed by Navy SEALs in coordination with the world-famous action design team, 8711 Action Design.
Keanu has spent over 1,000 hours with the 8711 stunt team learning judo.
The two needed to work in tandem because Wick needed to have the air of professionally trained assassin and maintain form, while being thrown through windows, taking large falls, riding horseback through the streets, and things that soldiers generally don't have to account for. Clearly, it's not just about how good of a marksman you are. A man half Keanu's age would find it really difficult to keep up with the sheer physical demand of such a movie. So John Wick has to be in incredible shape, and even he can't do it alone. LA native Patrick Murphy isn't your run-of-the-mill Hollywood physical trainer. He's a movement specialist as well, whose goal is to make sure Reeves can still walk after workouts and shoots, and think about the actor's long-term health. A good way to do that, according to Murphy, is to avoid heavy lifting and extreme exertion, leaning more towards huge circuits with diverse exercises that stimulate a variety of muscle groups. In addition, Keanu's workouts are designed with a high volume of reps and minimal rest, because of how hard the actor was bound to be pushed during shooting and how badly the character is beaten up in the movie. That's probably why the team paid special attention to Wick's core strength, stamina, and shoulders. This sounds like a lot of work, which it is, but Murphy had no complaints about his client, saying, "Keanu took the training like a champ." It isn't breaking news that the Matrix star works super hard on his projects. Whether it's putting in one more rep or another set, his Matrix trainers had the same comments, saying, "He's an animal." The team was also careful not to push Reeves too far. His workouts were specifically designed for his age, with the express purpose of making him feel good and strong. Trainers need to make sure that Keanu isn't too sore after he leaves the gym, because of the combat training which could be compromised if Keanu is injured. The action movie star has a lot of classes to take: jiu-jitsu, gun fu, Judo, wrestling, and other stunts all needed Reeves to be present, healthy, and able to give 100% effort, from the gun range to the gym to the mat. And now, the racetrack. This brings us to our next point, John's outstanding stunt driving in Chapter 4. Of course, this isn't the first time Keanu gets into a car for the John Wick franchise, with the second installment giving us a timeless drive through the factory action sequence, with Wick shooting up some goons in the process. But the upcoming Wick movie kicks everything into high gear. The trailers have teased Keanu ripping through the city streets in high-speed chases, even shooting out his window and passenger door. Keanu recently spoke about the driving stunts and said that he loves all the new skills he was being taught, like doing 180s at high speed, and doing another 180 to straighten himself out, or reverse into forward 270-degree turns. The best part though? Drifting. Looks like Wick's had his fun with horseback riding and needs some more speed, and director Chad Stahelski's probably done this on purpose. The fourth entry pits John against more enemies and some old friends, in some pretty wild circumstances. So a quick getaway is the key to taking down the high table. It's because of the effort being put into the franchise that it hasn't stagnated or gotten dated over the years, especially considering that Keanu doesn't relate to John Wick at all. One of the biggest reasons the actor is a public sweetheart is his complete disregard for the Hollywood flair and the flashy, fast-paced life it brings. So it's only natural that the laid-back Constantine actor would have a tough time getting into a lethal assassin's headspace. What Keanu does bring to the character is a dry sense of humor and a love for dogs.
Puppies.
However, Reeves' dedication to bridging the gap between character and audiences is visible in how well the project comes together at the end. Ever since the first installment came out, John Wick has shunned quick-cut shots and editing to dramatize action sequences and relied on trained actors. Displaying their characters' expertise through uncut sequences and wide shots is an influence from Asian action movies that may not have worked so well in the States. If Keanu hadn't sold them so well and gone above and beyond to train himself in combat, then the franchise may not have made it past the debut. We're lucky that Reeves loves the character so much, despite not relating to it, and is willing to put in months of work for each installment. I, for one, can't wait for March when Chapter 4 comes out, to see John Wick tearing up the streets with a muscle car and shotgun. Fast and Furious style. There you have it, ladies and gents. Those are the ways that Keanu Reeves prepares for John Wick.